Welcome to the show. It is the Foodpocalypse Now podcast. I'm Chris Baker from Foodpocalypse Now, back for another episode. And of course, we're post-Easter, so hopefully everyone had a very happy Easter. I know I had a great Easter full of lots of delicious Easter candy and lots of delicious Easter food. You know, I was going to do a podcast before Easter and kind of run down some of my favorite Easter candy, but things got a little hectic around Easter, and honestly decided to take a little break from the Foodpocalypse Now podcast, take a little break from the snack attack videos on our YouTube channel, and just enjoy some time with family. So I got to do that, but Easter candy, I really made out this year. My mother-in-law and my wife both got me my favorite Easter candy of all time. Has to be the Cadbury mini eggs. You got that delicious Cadbury chocolate with that crunchy shell. It's kind of textured, not quite. It almost feels powdery. It's a very different texture. It looks like the little eggs. I love those things. Those are delicious. Of course, Reese's peanut butter eggs probably have to be a very close second. And like I've talked about this before with other people, the egg shape really does make the difference, because I think it is the perfect chocolate to peanut butter ratio to make the perfect snacking treat. And of course, third on my list of my favorite Easter candies are the Cadbury caramel filled eggs. And of course, they came out with the cream filled eggs here back, when was it? Back in the 80s. But they later on, I don't know if it was in the 90s or maybe early 2000s, they came out with the caramel-filled ones. And those are just delicious. Anything filled with caramel is okay in my book. So some of my favorite Easter candies. Hopefully you made out very well this Easter with, like I said, lots of candy and lots of delicious food to enjoy the holiday. And of course, I'm not going to get all preachy, but there is a reason for the season. So it was nice to be able to celebrate that with family and friends, and then just personally. But speaking of snacks, not just Easter candy I've been enjoying lately. I've been talking about, we've done this on the Foodpocalypse Now snack attack videos on the YouTube channel, and I've been getting these Universal Yums boxes every month. So once a month we do one of the snack attack videos with the Universal Yums box. And the really cool thing about Universal Yums, and I sound like a paid advertisement. I swear to God, nobody's paying me this. I just really like what they're doing, and like a lot of the snacks I've gotten so far. I'm only a couple boxes in, but one of the cool things about Universal Yums is you can go to their website and you can get some of the old, not old, but I mean, you can get some of the things that were in previous boxes, or like if you're like me, I get the base box, the cheapest box. I'm a cheap guy. I work in radio. That's my day job, and we don't make a ton of money. So I just got the base box. No, actually, it's more, if I'm going to do videos, I don't want to have to try 15 different things. I wanted to keep it as small as possible, so I could make a video that it was maybe not less is more sort of thing. But some of the bigger boxes that have more things in the Universal Yums boxes, just some of them look amazing. And you can go on their website, universalyums.com, to their shop, and you can purchase some of the things from previous boxes. You can purchase some of the things from the box, the current box that maybe you didn't get. The one that I get usually has like 5 to 7 items, but they have some with much more. And that's what I did. I went on their website and bought a few of the snacks, and one of the German box was this past month's box, and a lot of delicious things. But one of the things I was really excited about were these pulled pork chips that were not in the box that I got. They were in one of the bigger subscription boxes for Universal Yums. But I tried them. I'm not going to try to pronounce the German. We'll just go with pulled pork chips. But I tried these things, and boy, howdy, are they good. I mean, they really do taste like pulled pork. I mean, you get the smokiness, you get that pulled pork sauce flavor, you taste pork. It's kind of got a bacony flavor to it. They're very crisp, very crunchy, a great salty snack. If you got a craving for a salty snack, this is really the way to go. And I love pulled pork. I'm a huge pulled pork fan, and just a dynamite chip. So I encourage everyone, check it out if you get a chance. One of the other things I got, which was kind of, I was really intrigued by these. It was part of the box from the UK, but which I didn't get. I was on board a little too late with the Universal Yums. But like I said, the cool thing is you can go to the website, go to the shop, and buy some of the things from previous boxes. And this one really caught my eye because I love rhubarb. And they had these bonbons. They're Bristos of Devon. They're chewy bonbons, and they're a rhubarb and custard flavor. And I thought that's really interesting. I like that, and I have been enjoying these probably more so, much to my wife's chagrin. I'm trying to watch my girlish figure, and she's seeing me popping these rhubarb and custard bonbons left and right, and she's like, "Oh, he's gonna have to do some extra sit-ups tonight." But no, in all seriousness, they're delicious. You can look at them, and half of them's kind of a pinkish, half of them's kind of a yellowy, creamy color, and that's kind of it. The pink side is the rhubarb side. It's very tart, that tart rhubarb feel to it, and or taste to it. And then the other side is the creamy custard side, and really both flavors are just wonderful in these things. The custard really tastes custardy. You're not just getting vanilla; it really tastes like a chewy custard. And the rhubarb side, you get that tartness, you get that rhubarb taste, and they're just wonderful. My wife is not a big fan of them. She doesn't like sour things, and these things are kind of tart, but you get a bit of that tartness from the one side, and then the creamy custard side kind of mellows it out after a while. They're just fantastic. So I encourage everyone, if you get a chance, check them out at universalyums.com. Like I said, they're not paying me for this. I just really dig what they're doing. So really excited to try more stuff. The next box is going to be from Spain, so be looking for that on the YouTube channel for Foodpocalypse Now and our Snack Attack video series, and some more videos to come. I'm trying to come up with some different ideas, some different things to add content to both the podcast. Got some things in the work, maybe getting my wife involved in this. Foodpocalypse Now has been a labor of love for years, truly. I've been doing the blog, the website, now this podcast, the Snack Attack video series. But behind the scenes, my wife, even before she was my wife, she was there with me. She was, proofreading all my blogs. She's, on the Snack Attack videos, she's behind the camera, kind of directing me and filming me, and kind of doing art direction, making sure things are where they're supposed to be. And with the podcast, she's always helping me out with ideas for what I can do next. So she's been my rock and behind the scenes a driving force of Foodpocalypse Now. She's the one that really helped get me the confidence to start the blog in the first place, how this whole thing started. So she's been behind the scenes, and I'm trying to get her. I don't know if she'll get in front of the camera, but at least I'm thinking we're going to do some sort of podcast. I would like to, maybe her just do it by herself, but until I think she's comfortable with that, I think we're going to do one together. And maybe, she's all the time on Pinterest, and just, making delicious meals based on these Pinterest recipes, and she'll go in and take the recipe and kind of make it her own, add this, take out that. And so we're maybe going to do something along the lines of that, to go over some of the Pinterest recipes that she's found and what she's done to make them her own, and talk about that sort of thing. So hopefully it'll be fun for you to listen to. I know it'll be fun for us to do. We're excited about maybe getting started on that here in the not too distant future. Right now, we're still wrapping up a renovation on our place. It seems like it's taken forever. But we are wrapping up a reno, and now that things are kind of winding down, we're kind of getting things where they need to be. We can start taking a little less time of unpacking and that sort of thing, and getting things where they need to be, and a little more time doing things we love, like the Foodpocalypse Now stuff. So we're really kind of excited about that. And speaking of my wife, that was kind of what I wanted to get into with this episode of the podcast, is that it's my wife and I, we're you say soulmates, and that's really it. We go out to dinner most times, and her mom, my mother-in-law, marvels in the fact that a lot of times we will order the same thing because our tastes are so similar. Not all the times, but a lot of times we'll order the same thing because we're really just so connected that we like a lot of the same things. But every once in a while, our tastes differ, and that's what made me think of this subject for this podcast. Is, do you and your significant other ever differ on food? And maybe not so much the types of food you eat, but how you eat it. And I say that with a grin on my face and a gleam in my eye because the case in point I'm thinking of, my wife and I eat bagels for breakfast a lot of mornings, probably more than I should. I know bagels, they're delicious, but maybe not the healthiest breakfast, but eat bagels quite often. I love Asiago bagels. They're just tops in my book. And what I love to put on those is salmon cream cheese. Philadelphia makes a great salmon cream cheese that I quite enjoy. And my wife, I think I kind of introduced her to that, and she enjoys it as well. But when we go to make our breakfast, we differ very much on the amount of cream cheese that is proper for a bagel. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Do you and your significant other differ on the application, I should say, of food in your life? It's funny because I like a lot of cream cheese on my bagel. I remember the first time I ever made a bagel in front of her was at work, because we also worked together, and I brought in a bagel and some cream cheese and was making that for breakfast when I would make, wait till I got to work to eat breakfast. And she later told me, she didn't tell me as I was doing it, but later she told me she was horrified at the amount of cream cheese I put on my bagel. Now, to be fair, I have cut back a little bit. I did realize that maybe I was using a touch too much cream cheese on my bagel. I'm not 100% certain that's true, but I could see where someone might look at my bagel and say that's a skosh too much cream cheese. But I like a lot of cream cheese on my bagel, and my argument is and was and will be that if you watch the commercials for any sort of cream cheese, they're slathering that stuff on that bagel, high and mighty, towering gobs of cream cheese on top of that bagel. And that's really the precedence that was set for me in the bagels that I like to have. I like a lot of cream cheese on my bagel. Now, my wife, on the other hand, Heather, she goes in the very opposite direction. When she makes her bagel, first she puts down puts a little butter on the bagel, gets it buttered up. And just like I said, just a thin slice or a thin spread of butter. And then pretty much the same thing with the cream cheese. So thin that you can see through to the bagel in some parts. And I'm like, that's not enough. That's not enough cream cheese. If you're going to do it, you got to do it right. You got to go big or go home. But no, that's how she likes her bagels. Just the thinnest spread of cream cheese. And you know what? We go back and forth constantly. She is horrified at the amount of cream cheese I put on mine. I am horrified at the lack of cream cheese on her bagel. And it's funny to listen to us go back and forth, because I don't think either one of us is going to relent. Like I said, I maybe relented a little bit and cut back ever so slightly on my cream cheese consumption, because that stuff ain't cheap. And like I said, I am trying to watch my girlish figure, and those dollops of cream cheese that I'm putting on my bagel are not calorie free or fat free, for that matter. So I suppose if you're looking at it from a health standpoint, my wife is in the right. I'm not ashamed to admit it. She's probably right in that regard. But if you're talking from a pure taste standpoint, I think I am leaning more in the right direction because, like I said, when I eat a bagel with cream cheese, I want lots of Asiago cheese on that bagel, and I want just as much, if not more, of that salmon cream cheese goodness. In this case, it's Asiago bagels and salmon cream cheese, but I want to taste it. I want to live life. I want to grab it by the haunches, and I want to taste every morsel at maximum flavor. But like I said, from a health standpoint, I am probably way off base on this one, and my wife is probably a little more no, I think I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say she's a little more where it's at because, like I said, she doesn't put nearly enough cream cheese on her bagel. But do you and your significant other have a differing opinion on how much is the right amount for anything, whether it's syrup on your pancakes or waffles, whether it's peanut butter on your bread, whether it's, how much creamer you put in my coffee? She's also very disturbed by the amount of creamer I put in my coffee. She's not a coffee drinker. She likes tea, so she'll put like just the tiniest splash of a creamer in her tea. But I like my coffee like I like my women, strong, sweet, and creamy. That's how I've always said. Now, I don't say that too much these days because there's only one woman for me. But she is strong. She is very sweet, and she does have creamy skin. Silky smooth skin. So still works. But at any rate, I do use a lot of creamer in my coffee as well, and she is kind of horrified by that. But do you have anything? I would be interested to see how many couples, and like I said, we snipe back and forth, we rib each other a little bit. Even I wouldn't say argue. If it is any argument, it is all in fun and jest. So I don't think food is anything to argue about and get angry, mean and nasty. So hopefully you don't argue with your significant other to that point. But is there any good-natured ribbing on what you eat or your significant other eats and how you eat it in so much as how much you put of this, that, or the other thing on what you're eating? I would be interested to see how many couples actually have that sort of dynamic in their relationship. But like I said, we do it all in good fun and a lot of good-natured ribbing, and I don't think either one of us is going to back down. I'm still going to put probably more cream cheese on my bagel than I should, admittedly so. And my wife is still not going to put enough on hers for me to want to have a bite of hers. That's probably a strategy on her part. If she wants me to leave her bagel alone and not try to sneak bites, that would probably be the best idea, not to put very much cream cheese on it. And that's a sure way for me to not try and sneak a bite of her bagel. So there might be a little strategery going on there. But I don't think so. Anyway, we have some fun with that, and I thought I would just kind of share that in this podcast. And like I said, I wonder how many other couples have that sort of a thing going on, that sort of dynamic going on. So until the next time, have yourself a great one. I'm going to go slather on mountains of salmon cream cheese on a bagel, and I know it's probably late, and I probably shouldn't be eating a bagel, let alone with the copious amounts of cream cheese that I use at this time. But you know what? If not now, when? So until then, we'll be back next Wednesday for another episode of the Foodpocalypse Now podcast. Until then, be sure to check out our website, foodpocalypsenow.com, for our blog. You can also check this podcast out there or on Spotify. You can also check out our YouTube channel, Foodpocalypse Now on YouTube, for the Snack Attack video series. You can also find this podcast there, and lots of more things coming to both the podcast and the YouTube channel. But as I said, again, check out foodpocalypsenow.com.